Are you getting overwhelmed in your business? We're going to talk about how to keep things simple. Stay tuned. I'm Frank, and I'm all about helping business owners and entrepreneurs start and grow their lawn care business. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button so you're notified of my future videos. What's going on, lawn care pros? So is your business getting complicated? So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can simplify things and get things moving. So if you're just starting out a lawn care business or you have an established lawn care business, we all have kind of the same struggles. We all kind of get in our own way. We tend to complicate things a little bit more than we need to. So today we're going to talk about how to keep things simple. So let's just say you're starting out and you've got all these decisions to make as far as, accounting and what type of mowers do I get, how do I get accounts, and all those different things. And what we want to do is just kind of simplify things from the get-go, right? So if you're just starting out, first of all, you want to kind of establish what your business model is going to be. Are you going to do, mowing and maintenance and that kind of thing? Or are you going to do pavers and, tree work or whatever that business model is going to be? In this example, we're going to just go through, lawn maintenance. Let's say you're just doing mowing and you're doing maintenance type of work, like shrub work, flower bed clean out, mulching, and that kind of thing. So when you're first starting out, you really need to figure out, what your business model is even a little bit further down from there, right? You're going to kind of niche down from there. So you've established you're in the lawn maintenance business. Now you want to kind of figure out, am I going to do residential? Am I going to do commercial? Or am I going to do both, right? So let's just say in this example, we're going to do residential only, right? So we're kind of niching down and trying to simplify things from the get-go, right? And let's say we've established that we're going to do residential only. Now we need to establish a little bit further, niche down a little bit further and establish whether we're going to do, certain size properties. Are we going to do 8,000 square feet or less? Are we going to do 10,000 square feet or less? Are we going to do 5,000 square feet or less? Or are we going to do like large properties, acre, 2 acres, 5 acres, and those kind of things, right? So let's just say again, in this example, we've kind of niched it down. We're going to do like 7,000, 8,000 square feet and below, right? So again, we're just simplifying this as a process for our business model, right? And you can always revisit, we're going to do commercial down the road, but that might be a whole different division, right, that does that, right? So in this example, we're going to keep niching down and figuring out what we're going to do. And we're going to simplify things. We're going to simplify our business model. So in this example, we're doing, 7,000, 8,000 square feet and less. We're not going to do, properties that are too far away, right? We talk about route density. So we're going to establish that, our radius, our marketing radius is, 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles, whatever that might be in your case. And again, that depends on your budgeting dollars, right? If I have more to spend, then I can go a little bit further out, right? Or I might take that same amount of money and really niche down and do more mailers to the same people in a smaller radius, right? So let's just say in this example, we've established that we're going to be in the lawn maintenance business. We're doing, houses that are 7,000, 8,000 square feet and smaller, the yards. And we've established we're going to do like, let's say, a 3-mile radius. So again, we're just niching down as far as, what we're going to do in our business model. And we want to kind of establish this from the get-go so we don't get derailed, right? So now that we've established all this, it makes it easier for us to simplify our processes, right? Because if I'm doing 7,000, 8,000 square foot lawns and I'm doing it within a 2-3 mile, let's say 3-mile radius, then I know kind of my marketing budget is going to be and what I'm targeting. Our route density is good. And I also know what kind of equipment I need, right? For a 7,000, 8,000 square foot lawn, I really don't need, a zero turn, sit down 52-inch, 62-inch, or that kind of thing, right? I can really focus in on getting the right equipment for the type of business that I'm doing. Again, simplifying things. Then I can move onto the marketing aspect. I can move on to the, answering the phone part of it, the administrative part. How am I going to take payments, right? Again, an aspect that we can really simplify as well. One of the things that when I was doing the lawn maintenance side, we didn't take any checks, right? We did it first, But over time, what we did, we established to our customers that we are going to take credit cards only, right? So again, simplicity is what we're after, right? And same thing with your trucks, right? If you're gonna logo it up, you might be thinking, oh, do I need a wrap or do I need this? At first, just make it as simple as possible, right? The one thing that really needs to stand out on your truck is the phone number, right? Without it, nobody's gonna call you. The other thing that really needs to stand out is, what do you do, right? If you're doing lawn maintenance, lawn mowing, obviously you don't want to put tree work on there, right? Some people put everything under the sun when it comes to the decals and so forth, and maybe that's the case because they're doing everything, right? So one minute you're taking a call for maintenance, one minute you're taking a call for tree service and that kind of thing. Again, when you're first starting out, you want to really establish what you're going to do and do it well, right? You can always branch out and you can have another division, right, that does, the commercial side. You can have another division that does tree work. You can have another division that does the chemical treatments. So a good example is Amazon, right? Like Amazon does everything, but they didn't do everything whenever they first started, right? All they did was they did one thing well. They sold books, right? Jeff Bezos sold books. That's what he did. He sold books. And then after time, he said, I'm going to add this and this as I establish my business, and I had a ton of customers. So the way to add those kind of services is not by just saying, okay, I'm just going to go do, tree service, even though I'm not an expert in tree service. First, they establish what they do in their core competency, right? In our core competency in this business, this example that we're following right now is the lawn mowing side, right? So once you've got that business large enough, right, where you have a great customer base, you're doing everything perfect, you've got all your processes in place when it comes to payment, processing, fulfillment, marketing, then you can say, okay, well, I want to add, tree service. Now, what I'm going to do is treat that as a separate business within my business, or a separate division, a separate department. When you go to Walmart, they have the jewelry department, the auto department, the food department. All those things are separate divisions, separate departments. So each one of those departments, each one of those businesses within that one roof has its own, systems and processes in place, as well as management to take care of that. So let's say, again, in our example, you've done such a good job with the mowing and you've established that. You've got 200 accounts, you've got 1,000 accounts, you've got, tons of accounts, right? And you want to add services to those, or you want to add a different type of business that's not really, lawn care related, right? Maybe tree service. Then you can go out and hire a manager for that and start doing that. Hey, Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Smith, we've been taking care of your lawn. We've just added a new division to our business. It's tree service, and now we can take care of all your tree service needs, right? Or we've added irrigation, the sprinkler systems, right? So we can now take care of your sprinkler system. So from the start, what I want you to do is, I don't want you to necessarily do all these things at once when you have 1 or 2 or 3 employees, right? Or if it's just you. I don't want you to necessarily go and do tree service and then lawn maintenance and then, fence work, because you don't get into that routine. You don't get into that simplicity in your business, right? So what we want to do is really simplify our business, and then as we want to grow it, right, we keep it simple within each one of the departments, each one of the business within that one core business. So that's what I'm trying to get to you today, is really try to simplify your business, and that way you can get your processes and procedures in place so you can always do an excellent job, and that will help you grow your business much, much quicker. So I don't want you to think that you can't have a large business, right? You can make $100,000 a year, or you can make $10 million a year when it comes to the lawn care business, right? You can have a $10 million lawn care business, and it's going to be complex from somebody that's looking from the outside, but if it's run properly, right, there is a lot of things that are very simple within that business, right? A $10 million business could be a business where they just take credit cards. That's simplicity, right? They could be a business where they just take on certain types of properties. Again, that's simplicity, right? Their accounting can be simplified. They might have, 10 people in the accounting department where you might have yourself or just one person, but the procedures and the processes are simplified. And that's how they were able to grow into that kind of business. Now, let's say you're somewhere in between right now. Let's say you're running a $200,000 or up to $600,000, $700,000 lawn care business, and you've done that through sheer determination, right? Maybe you don't have a whole lot of processes and procedures in place, and it's taken you several years to get there, maybe 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, whatever that might be, and you are stagnant. You're not growing your business. You don't know how to grow your business beyond that 700,000 mark. You don't know how to get it to 1 million and so forth. And you're doing everything under the sun right now. You're doing landscaping, lawn maintenance. Maybe your guys are even going out and mowing the lawn, and they see, hey, this property always has dog poop, and so we added dog poop service. We've added fence repair. We've done all these things, and you're wondering, I'm struggling. I can't get past this 700,000 mark. Even if I do, my margins really aren't that great, right? Because I'm, having to hire different types of people, or maybe my guys are doing everything. So 1 minute they're, mowing, 1 minute they're doing fence work, and 1 minute they're doing tree work. So it's not very efficient. My margins aren't good. So now you got to kind of evaluate your business and figure out, okay, do I have, a thriving tree service? Do I have a thriving, lawn maintenance business? Do I have a thriving landscaping business? You got to look at all the margins and then start really chopping off some of those things or selling off some of those assets and really, bringing it back to, your core competency. What are you best at? So once you've kind of looked at your overall business and determined that, your customers are raving fans of you when it comes to lawn mowing, right? They're not raving fans when it comes to tree service. They're not raving fans when it comes to fence work. Then you want to kind of evaluate that and bring things back in. And it's going to hurt, right? It's going to hurt a little bit whenever you have to, cut back on the tree work or do less of the fence work, and because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to lose revenue. But really, if you can start focusing on one thing, where is your core competency? What are you really good at? And really cut back on some of the things that are hindering you from growing your business, right? What you're really good at, where you can, put the foot to the metal and just really grow that business. And really this type of business that you're doing that you're so good at, your margins are going to be better, right? Because your guys are good at it, you feel good about the work you're doing, and typically your margins are going to be better on that. So let's go back to the example that we started out with. We're doing lawns that are like 8,000 square foot or less. We're sticking within a 2-3 mile radius as far as where we're going so we can keep the route density. Now, in this journey of yours, let's say, you're trekking along, you just started out, next thing you know, you got 50 lawns, next thing you know, you have 100 lawns. In this journey of yours, there's going to be circumstances where people or things are going to try to derail you from that, right? So let me give you an example. A client of mine was doing kind of the same business type model, right? Very similar to this, and they were up to, I think, 150, 200 lawns within 2.5, 3 years. And, they get this phone call. So again, keep in mind, they're doing, 8,000 or less, 3 mile radius, and they get this phone call, and this property didn't fall within those parameters. This property was 3 acres, and it was, I think, 4.5, 5 miles away, but it paid decently, right? But it was just one account, right? And now he had to say, well, do I really want to do this? He really had to think about this. And we had this conversation over the phone, and, I asked him some questions like, are you going to need to get new equipment? And the answer was yes. Do you see yourself going down this path? And the first thing he said to me is, man, whenever I went to look at this property, I was thinking to myself, what a pain in the blank, right? This property, oh my God, this is not what we do. I don't even know why I'm here. So he already had his answer. So here he is, he's going down this great path, he's establishing his business, and then over here, we got this dangling dollars, right? The carrot, right? And he already answered the questions, right? He already answered his own question. Do I need to really do this? He answered it by all the things that he said. Oh my God, this was a nightmare property, is what he said whenever he looked at it. But again, the dangling, and he just wanted to walk through, talk it. It helps, right? It helps to talk through that process and figure out, is that the right thing? He already knew the answer. He didn't need me, but it helped. So after all that, he decided that it was best for him to keep focusing on what he was doing. He was happy with what he was doing. He didn't go to one of these properties and go, oh my God, what a nightmare. Oh my God, what a nightmare. He did on this one, right? Even though it was worth a little bit of dollars over here, it wasn't worth his time. It wasn't worth the investment, right? It wasn't worth the margins. He was looking at the top line. He was looking at, oh my God, I'm gonna make another $1,000 every 2 weeks, right? Or every month. But he wasn't really looking at what that was to the bottom line, right? Because he was just looking at the top line. So keep in mind, as you're growing your business, you're doing well, you are gonna have these dangling carrots that are gonna try to derail you. I want you to really kind of take that in and really focus in on what you're doing and keep it simple. So in closing, whether you're first starting out or you have an established lawn care business, you don't want to get bogged down in too many things. You want to keep your processes and procedures simple. In turn, that's going to help you grow your business much quicker. If this information was helpful, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button so you're notified of my future videos. See you next time, Lawn Care Pros.